Qigong is an Asian method of exercise used to promote the body's inner wellness. So when a mother and daughter team of Qigong instructors joined forces with a Feng Shui practitioner, they happily created a home that encompasses all their beliefs.
I actually had been looking for a particular type of exercise class. It's called Qigong, and it's similar to Tai Chi, and it really works on your whole body, including your organs and all of your metabolism, and it's really quite a healthy way to exercise, and it's low impact, which I was really looking for. So I had attended this class, and the girl that was instructing the class, she was really interested in Feng Shui. In fact, she'd been looking for a Feng Shui practitioner, and there I walked into her class one day, and we got talking, and that's how I ended up here in her home.
I was watching her throughout the class, and I was so amazed. I'm like, oh my God, not only is she doing the exercises, she's doing it with Qi.
Qi means energy, Gong means how you work it, and there are 2,000 different ways of doing Qigong. There's the hard Qigong for fighting, there is soft Qigong, there is Tai Chi, you do Qigong. But I do the medical Qigong, so there is a similarity in Feng Shui. If my house would not be properly from a Feng Shui point of view, then my energy flow in my body, which is medical Qigong, my house, my body, is not my other house, but the two have to work in harmony. If they don't work in harmony, then I might suddenly find things not going well.
I felt we were having problems or things going on in our environment that were a direct result of how we were living and where we were living, and that it was just an easy shift that we needed to do to sort of fix things.
This house is actually on a site that has been chosen in the highest form of Feng Shui. The home has actually been built with the back of the house to the street, which is not the norm. But by doing that, this turns into a perfect form school Feng Shui site. The pond itself represents the phoenix in Feng Shui, which is good for rejuvenation and giving new life. The back of the house faces north, and that's protection from the north and also protection of the head and shoulders in a physical form. If you look to either side of the house, there's trees and shrubbery and lovely gardens throughout, and that's also protective, but also lush and flourishing too. So it's been chosen, and it's a well-chosen Feng Shui site. When we started with this house, what I normally do with any client is I interview them. We sit down and we chat for about half an hour, 45 minutes, because what I want to do is I want to work with what their goals are. It's not about my goals, it's all about the client goals. So once those are achieved and picked, then we go throughout the home and we start the art of placement, which is what Feng Shui is really all about.
The first thing I started with was the southeast corner, because for money, really. It started out just personal wealth, needed to increase it one way or the other. And also there was family relationships that both my mom and I wanted to work on. And we felt that there were definitely some negative things going on around us.
Laurie would point out to us, take this nice box that you've got, put a couple of things in there that mean something to you, gold coins, but I didn't have any, but whatever, and then put them in the southwest corner. I hope I'm right.
Actually, my mom's wrong. It's the southeast corner, which is the wealth and prosperity corner. And we do have some gold coins in this very ornate little box. We started out with just a tin box, and in that whole southeast corner, there was unplugged VCRs and a light that wasn't working and all these big Feng Shui no-nos. So we cleaned it right out, and instead of a tin box, which I started out with, I went bigger and went gold. And yeah, it was a really good remedy.
It takes a lot of time in going through and assessing what objects mean to people, and you have to be very careful when you're approaching, because something that may not be appealing to me may be, you know, just the warmest thing to that person. So you don't want to assume anything or what meaning is attached to any particular object. So because there's so many, I think it was more a challenge keeping me on track here, because there's so many interesting artifacts and pieces of art, and there's a lot of stories behind them.
My artifacts come from all over the world. I might have stones outside that friends have brought me from China, and I dutifully put them in my little Qi garden. Things that come from my family. I come from an old French-Dutch background. I have a clock there hanging that's 175 years old that comes from Holland. Then I have a couple of artifacts from Indonesia, because I feel comfortable surrounded with my own Eastern background. So it's sort of a mishmash of everything. I'm right now looking at 3 vases that I picked up in Turkey. I have some paintings from Italy. Or as a matter of fact, on my mantle is a Roman vase that's 2,500 years old.
One area that we worked on and spent a lot of time was the mentors area. Mentors area is great for spirituality and meditating, which is very deeply embedded in the souls of both Danielle and Charlotte. That's what they do in life, that's what their business is as well. So it's very important that they have an area that they can meditate, and energy is heavier in one area than another with the compass method. So in the mentors area, you've already got spirituality, you've got helpful people, you've got mentors that are going to help you throughout. Putting your meditation area in that area is only going to amplify it.
Just feeling your energy. You know, you could do that by doing this, and then you can feel sort of kind of a warmth, like a buzz. We used to call it the buzz in between the hands, and that eventually, when you really develop it through the whole body, can help you in healing yourselves. Now, here starts where the problem is with Qigong and Feng Shui, that it is so in the beginning state here in Canada, although it's 2,500, 5,000 years old, and it works. I always say, if an exercise worked 2,500 years ago and they didn't change it until now, it must be good.
Feng Shui and Qigong have a lot of similarities. They do complement one another. They both deal with balance. Qigong is balancing inner systems for medical reasons, immune system, strengthen, qi flow. And from what I understood from Feng Shui, what I felt it did for me was the exact same thing, only in the house, so that the house and the body totally work together.